A renowned nutritionist based in Dubai, she is celebrated for her transformative approach to wellness and nutrition. Her innovative methods and dedication to holistic well-being have earned her a prominent place in Dubai's wellness scene, making her a sought-after advisor for those who are looking to elevate their lifestyle and health. It's a pleasure to have you with us on Zee Connect, Rashi.
Thanks, Priya. Thanks for having me.
Lovely. So Rashi, we are going to go back in your nutrition and wellness journey. In fact, we are going to go right back into your childhood and know how you were as a child.
Oh, wow. So, I think as a child, I was just like any other teenager, you know. Very self-conscious. I've said this so many times. I used to hate my carbs. I had a very negative relationship with myself. I think if you had to go even further down, as a child, I feel like I always intuitively knew that I want to be thin.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I was just low self-esteem.
Yeah.
So I always just want to be thin because I'm Punjabi. And everyone around me, cousins, far-off cousins, close relatives, everyone was overweight.
Yeah.
So for me, I think intuitively as a child, I knew something doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Back then when I studied nutrition, people didn't know how to spell dietitian.
Yeah.
We were studying it.
Yeah.
And the first day I still remember, we were like, all of us were like, oh, how do you spell diet?
Yeah.
Or dietetics.
Yeah.
Is what it's called, right? So, and I know that my only motivation to join it was so that I can be, it sounds so vain.
You wanted to do this for yourself?
No, but I was like, I just want to be a hot mom and I want to have kids and I want to be able to stay thin all my life, so I'm doing this. It was literally that.
Yeah. And you probably did not know who to follow for guidance, so you said, I'll become my own teacher.
Yeah, at that time there was nobody popular. Now everybody is a nutritionist and a wellness expert. At that time it just wasn't like this. This was, I'm talking about like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any particular habit or something that you've carried with you from childhood till date?
A habit.
A habit or anything that you followed?
I think even as a child I was an early riser, and I feel that has really, that is responsible for a lot of other things in my life because I wake up early, but that happened to me just naturally. So even as a kid I used to be waking, I never had a problem waking up early.
Superb. Okay, let's move on to some career highlights of your life, starting with your first job. Tell me about it.
Oh wow, that was, well, to me the only highlight, when you say first job, what comes to my head is the first check that I got. It was 781 rupees after a full month of an internship. And it's funny, right? Because that memory is just there.
Yeah.
And it's such a sweet memory because I remember how I felt when I got that first check. But yeah, that was my first. It was an internship which I did.
So then, when and how did it actually become like a thing that you made a career out of? Like nutrition, you were passionate about getting up early, eating healthy, eating well, keeping your body well maintained. But when did you think that apart from yourself, you want to help others, and you also kind of want to make a career out of it?
Yeah, I think it happened very naturally. I got married, I realized I haven't done the right thing. This was not the right thing for me to do. And then suddenly what happens when one area of your life is not balanced? You start to pay attention towards other things that are working, right? And for some reason, I always had my way around speaking to women. And I was like a mini therapist, you know? And I realized that was kind of just working.
Yeah.
So I just put a lot of time, attention, energy just into that. I used to work out of, my apartment and have clients coming home. And so then I got my license. Then I started working at a clinic. It happened very naturally, very organically.
Yeah. So then once you did join the clinic, did you feel that you were doing something very new that people were not aware of?
This is so interesting because initially it was very like what I had learned through university and very conventional and textbook. But then over time, because I went through my own, hormonal problems, I had endometriosis, which is actually very common now. 1 out of 8 Indian women have it. And dealing with that made me just completely shift my perspective. I started to realize all the things that I've been taught are completely working against me. And those were probably the reasons, one of the reasons that I actually got endometriosis to begin with, you know.
So a lot of how you were guiding people came from your own experiences and the changes you brought about in your own personal life. And what was more like, where were you getting your tips and guidances from to give people?
Honestly, it was just me studying and relearning everything that I'd learned. Like everything that I'd learned in the past, I had to just let it go.
Unlearn.
And I had to unlearn, I had to relearn everything. And that's also when Protein Bake Shop happened.
Oh.
And then I started to realize that, okay, if I'm going to have my coffee every day, I have nothing on the side to eat along with it, which is going to give me something back. Everything is just taking away from me, right? So that's when the whole Protein Bake Shop thing happened. You know, when I tried to register my products, they didn't understand why I was putting protein powders in it. They're like, we don't know how to register your product because something like this doesn't exist. Like, what is almond flour?
But tell me one thing, like when you actually got into becoming an entrepreneur, you know, in 2013, starting your own brand, and you're saying that you made your family, friends try, initially test those products, and some of them probably were not liked in terms of taste. How was it for you convincing them, A, and B, what are the other challenges you faced?
I think I didn't do any convincing. I think I was just so sure that I need this. And I feel that's just how it's been for me throughout. If I feel I need it, I feel like there must be others who need it as well. Because I'm not some exclusive, like, you know, there's so many people. Although we are all so different, I feel as humans, we have so many things that are so common. Our emotions are so common. Like, it's the same stuff, right? So I'm sure there are other women out there who understand this or will eventually understand it, but need this. Right? Because I developed this endometriosis thing and a lot of other hormonal issues as well back then. And there was too much misinformation. So I knew that eventually people are going to catch on. Like, people will know gluten is not good for you, because when I removed it, I know how I felt. You know, when I switched from dairy to like almond milk, coconut milk and all of that, I know how I felt. Now, every cafe here has that option. Back then, there were just two cafes, Comptoir and Seva, which had these options.
Very true. But tell me, overall, when it comes to health and well-being, you've seen it from so many years and it has evolved over the years. We were talking about it offline as well, right? Tell me how, in your view, it has really evolved, especially for your clients who probably now come to you not just for weight loss, but for many other reasons to overall be healthy. How do you see the change?
Yeah, I think more and more people are understanding that, oh, I've done my macros. I'm done with calorie counting. I've done this particular diet. I'm done with intermittent fasting and keto. Now what? I'm still not getting better. And I think the problem here is, look, if I always say this, if anybody is overweight, 5 to 7 kgs beyond that, lose it. It's important. But just focusing on weight loss is a lost battle, because mentally you're not okay. And then mentally you're not okay, if you're just focusing on that number or those calories, then how is it going to help you? Because mental health is part of being healthy, right? It's not just the weight. So I feel this is now, a lot of people are in this zone. I don't care about my weight. I just want to make sure my period is on time. I have like my skin is not breaking out all the time. I don't have allergies and sensitivities. And I just want to feel good and motivated enough to live a good life.
I'm going to ask you some personal reflection questions. Tell me, what are you most grateful about in life?
Oh, wow. I think just my will to keep moving, because I think it's not something you can, I think you either have it or not. You know, some people just give up. I've seen a lot of people just give up and be like, okay, let life just do what it needs to do. But I feel I've always kind of, so I feel I've done my bit of processing all my emotions, even the dirty ones. I try not to shy away from them. But after that, I've always found myself that I just get up and do what I'm supposed to do, right? So I'm very grateful that I have that quality.
Good. What is your fitness mantra?
I think what I try to follow right now, my goal is to like dive into my own body's wisdom rather than depending on external stuff to understand what is it that my body really needs. I think that's where I am today.
What are the things that you don't leave your home without?
Oh, wow.
2, 3, 1, anything.
I think my phone, right? My phone has everything in it.
The course you're going to do next week, you'll have to go without it.
I know, and I'm really stressing about it. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm still like iffy about the course. You know? I really don't know if I'll do it.
Anything else?
No, I think it's just my phone.
Just your phone.
I always carry my phone with me everywhere.
Thank you so much, Rashi. It's been such a pleasure knowing your journey, your story, and also great tips from you.
Thank you, Priya. Thanks a lot.